It was an age when man honored the noble virtue of frivolity, when life was not such a hard struggle as it is today. It was a leisurely age, an age when professional wits could make an excellent livelihood by keeping rich or well-born young gentlemen in a cloudless humor and seeing to it that the laughter of the court ladies and geisha was never stilled. People did all they could to beautify themselves, some even having pigments injected into their precious skins, gaudy patterns of line and color danced over men's bodies. There was an exceptionally skillful young tattooer named Seikichi. Much of the works admired at tattoo exhibitions were his. Seikichi was famous for the unrivaled boldness and sensual charm of his art. No one whose skin and physique failed to interest them could buy his services. Deep in his heart, the young tattooer concealed a secret pleasure and a secret desire. His pleasure lay in the agony of men felt as he drove his needles into them, torturing their swollen, blood-red flesh. And the louder they groaned, the keener was Seikichi's strange delight. Shading and vermilioning, these are said to be especially painful, were the techniques he most enjoyed.
Whenever a spineless man howled in torment, or clenched his teeth, and twisted his mouth as if he were dying, and he would go on tattooing, as unperturbed as ever, with an occasional glance at the man's tearful face.
For a long time, Seikichi had cherished the desire to create a masterpiece on the skin of a beautiful woman. Such a woman had to meet various qualifications of character as well as appearance. A lovely face and a beautiful body were not enough to satisfy him. Several years had passed without success, and yet the face and figure of the perfect woman continued to obsess his thoughts. He refused to abandon hope. One summer evening in the 4th year of his search, Seikichi happened to be passing the Hirase restaurant when he noticed a woman's bare milk white foot peeping out of the curtains of a departing palanquin. Eager to catch a glimpse of her face, Seikichi began to follow the palanquin. But after pursuing it several lanes and alleys, he lost sight of it altogether. Seikichi's long-held desire turned into passionate love. Around the corner of the inner fence appeared a young girl. She had common hair with a benefit, and he felt the need to attach to the boy.
당신이 자꾸만 바뀌어서 그냥 갈 수도 없네요. 이루어질 수도 없는 이 사랑에 내 맘이 너무 아파요. 하루가 가고 밤이 오면 난 온통 당신 생각뿐이죠. 한심스럽고 억울하지만 어떻게 해야 좋을까요? 마음이 사랑을 따르니 내가 뭘 할 수 있나요? 이루어질 수도 없는 이 사랑에 내 맘이 너무 아파요.
It was was a painting of a Chinese princess, her slender body barely able to support the weight of her gold crown. This was a painting called The Victims. In the middle of it, a young woman stood leaning against the trunk of a cherry tree. She was floating over a heap of men, corpses lying at her feet. Little birds fluttered about her, singing in triumph.
Watashi kagaru. Higo, terudo. Higo. Josie, terudo. Terudo. Terudo.
Presently, he raised the brush, applied its tip to the girl's back, and with the needle, which he held in his right hand, began pricking out a design. He felt his spirit dissolve into the charcoal black ink that stained her skin. Each drop of the Ryuko cinnabar that he mixed with alcohol and thrust in was a drop of his lifeblood. He saw in his pigments the hues of his own passions. Even to insert small drop of ink was no easy task. At every thrust of his needle, Seikichi gave a great sigh and felt as if he has stabbed his own heart. Little by little, the tattoo marks began to take on the form of a huge black widow spider. And by the time the night sky was paling into dawn, this weird malevolent creature had stretched its 8 legs to embrace the whole of the girl's back. Seikichi worked on by candlelight. Seikichi put down his brush. Now that he had finished it, his heart was drained of emotion.
Mazu, watashi wa sore o kizuto sukeru. Nagaku yukan sa Tokoshi.
Sino watashi? Sensation nagising.
Wa anata no irizumi.